this out, you get some shit going. This creature's not fair and balanced. We all know that. But all right, so we made that. All right, so let's get to Hamza. That only took us about an hour, so we still got some time. All right, so we'll do Hamza. What are we calling it?
Um, Counter. I hardly know her.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Counter. I hardly. Okay. Now we get Hamza. Okay, cool. All right. Do we want to do the Great Oak Guardian or the
Well, remember, so his budget is very low.
Right. I'm just saying, is there is Scurry Oak?
I thought
This is 22 cents. And then what's the other card called? The green card that goes infinite with this?
I don't know. I didn't know of this combo.
It's Scurry Oak and then the green creature that whenever a green creature enters, you put a 1/1 counter on any green creature. Ivy Lane Denizen. Ivy Lane Denizen. Is this bulk? It's budget! We got a budget combo. Let's go.
Okay,
You don't know
there
how
we
this
go.
works?
No, I get how it works. I've never seen it before.
Scurry Oak, whenever it gets a 1/1 counter, it makes a So whenever this just says whenever a green creature enters, you can put a 1/1 counter on target creature.
So it gets a so he does have a doubling season, so he can run that in this list, and that's not going to account to its overall like arcing price.
Okay.
It's $90.
Jesus.
We just got a pre-con commander deck that's all about counters.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to keep this as budgety as possible. We don't have to do like the dollar challenge build, but
what around what price range though? Hold on one second. I'm getting a phone call.
Okay.
Hello?
I can still hear you.
Yes. Awesome. Good to know. Thank you. All right. All right. Yeah, you too. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. So saying that like his limit, like he was like maybe around 50-60 bucks. I told him that there might be a few things that we might want to include, and like with some trade stuff would probably like some like the more expensive cards could be traded for potentially.
Do you mean the limit around the entire deck is 50-60 bucks?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a tough one, but we can try to do it. So it's pretty much got to be everything's like $1 or 50 cents or like,
Yeah, which I think is definitely doable. And I said like if there's a few other cards that like break that budget limit, like we could probably work around it, like saying like a Beast Whisperer is like $5. But like Beast Whisperer is everywhere, and people would definitely be willing to trade if they have an extra one.
All right. We could try. It's definitely going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Because I also don't really like this. Isn't really my archetype.
A lot of like the lower end counter stuff has gotten a lot cheaper. So
I might want to honestly look on EDH Rec for this. I know I don't usually like doing that, but I mean I do it when like I build decks, but like when we're doing this, but like I'm just not. Oh, right, the Tyranids. A lot of the new Tyranids are really good. Because a lot of them draw and stuff. So this one adds a mana of any color if the mana is spent to cast a creature spell that it enters with an additional +1. No, that's like $4 though.
But we can still do that, and like
creatures you control with counters. Hold on, sack this. Creatures you control with counters on it gain hexproof and that seems good for a budget card. Tyranid card. And the thing about the Tyranids is if you don't know their thing, is if you put more than 5 mana into them, which is good with Hamza, because he makes things cost less, you get to draw a card.
So if you have like 9 counters on things, he costs 9 less. So it's really easy to dump a lot into him and draw the card.
Turn card.
So there were some things I was looking at that like could be really cool for this deck.
What is this one? When it deals combat damage to a player, destroy artifact or enchantment that player controls. That seems fine, right? Aberrant, because all of the Ravenous things, like we should look at all the Tyranids because all of the like Ravenous is really good with +1 counter decks.
There were some like baseline cards I did definitely wanted to check out though as well. Like there's the one creature. It's called like Lae'zel. It's one of the choose a background cards. It's budget and it's basically a hardening scales creature.
What is it called?
LAE.
Is it Pier? Is Pier that expensive?
I think so.
How do you spell it? Am I just spelling it wrong?
I think you had it right. It's just you had the there it is.
Oh yeah.
It's
what were you
just
saying?
never
Lae'zel? How do you spell that?
It's LAEZ. There, it's the middle one.
Sure. So hold on. So I want to look into more of the Tyranids. Are they on? They're probably not on the Gatherer yet, right? We could just look at the deck.
No, they are because they've been officially released.
Okay, so which deck is it? It's this one.
Yeah. So it has to be green or white, which I don't think there's white in this.
Let's check the price of that thing. What is it called? Oh wait, what is this? For each counter on each creature you control will have a counter on it. Oh, should we play this thing? Clamavouse? We should see if that is budget.
So that kind of like doubles the counters on things.
Clamavouse. What do you think? Try to make it work?
So it's each creature you control gets +1+ for each +1 counter on it. Yeah, it's basically doubles their size.
I just mean the price.
Yeah.
All right, let's check the other one. The Blowphagus. Let's see what it. Blowphagus.
It's Biophagous.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it'll come up. Oh, it's like $4. We'll just throw that in the maybe.
Pyrocyst is Spore Cyst is the other one.
Yeah, Spore Cyst.
It searches for a bunch of lands. Actually, that's actually be really good in this deck because it's times X, and when he enters, you search your library for the X basic lands. And so if our commander is making him cost like a lot less.
Cyst?
It's one word. It's Sporocyst, I think actually.
We could try to throw it in for now.
Rishkars is I think a good in this. Makes them all.
And Return of the Wild Speakers.
Mm-hmm.
Expertise, you mean? This one?
No, Rishkar, the Promenade.
Well, we should probably play this too in Return of the Wild Speaker.
Yeah.
And maybe Shamanic Revelation.
Because we're definitely going to be like a creature heavy build.
And then what was the one? Oh, the Rishkar, the one that puts counters on creatures, and then you can tap them.
Good Fortune Unicorn just like makes creatures enter with counters.
Are you looking at EDH rec?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Cool.
Because like I'm not super familiar with +1 counters because I never had to build one, so
I know Machias.
I like the Armorcraft Judge. Enters battlefield, draw a card for each creature you control with a +1 counter on it. That seems real good.
I just saw it.
Damning Verdict. I didn't know that was a card. Destroy all creatures with no counters on them. Guilty as charged.
Damning Verdict, you said?
Yeah. Oh, so there's a lot more of like Hardened Scales effects. Conclave Mentor.
That card is $2, but
that's fine. Conclave Mentor. I remember when this first came out, it was like another Hardened Scales. Didn't Hardened Scales just get reprinted too?
Derek, what's the ooze that like attacks and gives everything counters, right?
Oh, it's counters on itself though. I think it's
I thought it gives it to everything.
No, because it's indestructible one, right? When it attacks, it's predatory use. Predatory use.
I don't think that's the one I'm thinking of.
Then I'm unsure because I know that one's like when it attacks. Speaking of ooze, scavenging ooze is kind of cool. It dumps counters on itself. Eats up the.
Is this in budget?
Oh, it's Oran Reef ooze. There it is. Whenever it attacks, put a +1 counter on each attack creature with a +1 counter on it. But when it enters the battlefield, you put a +1 counter on target creature you control.
What's the guy that it's Bale something, I think. It's the Hydra that like you can pay 3 to like we should play Fertilid.
Yes.
What's the Hydra that like can pay 3 and it comes in with counters and it can pay 3 to like take a counter off of it to like pop an artifact or enchantment?
Oh, okay. Isn't it like a turtle one? I think
It's a turtle. I think it's like a turtle Hydra.
I had to find it. Keep looking around, see if there's anything that piques your interest.
Hold on. I'm gonna look for. Oh, Abzan Falconeer, duh.
Oh, so it's Steelbane Hydra.
Gold Fortune Unicorn. We definitely want that. Oh, Steelbane Hydra?
Yeah. And it's remove +1 counter from it, destroy target artifact or enchantment.
Yeah. Good Fortune Unicorn looks good because that's just another.
I thought we already put that in.
Did I get that?
Yeah, I think that's.
Oh yeah. Okay. Fertilid, Renata. Each creature you enter is the counter. Oh, that seems good. It's just another Good Fortune Unicorn. Renata. Call the Hunt seems good. Wait a minute. She's definitely not that price.
Oh yeah, because it's that version.
God damn it. It's not the list. There we go. 27 cents. All right. Conclave Mentor, we got that.
Wildwood Scourge is kind of gross.
Oh, Inspiring Call. I love that one. This is the one that draws. 23 cents. We'd say, which one did you say?
So Wildwood Scourge is it enters with X +1 counters on it, and then whenever one or more +1 counters is put on a non-Hydra creature, put a +1 counter on Wildwood Scourge. So every time like we play a creature or something, it just gets bigger and bigger.
What about Voracious? No, it's too much money. Beast Whisperers.
Yo, Luminarch Gas Pirate.
Definitely champion a Land Bolt. That's how you win.
Mm-hmm.
Luminarch. Yep. Dust Shell Crawler.
Okay, so do you think we could find someone to trade for a
What about this thing that gives everything with +1 counters on it trample?
I like that. Kodama of the West Tree is also would be really cool. Kodama's a little bit.
Dust Shell Crawler. Hold on, and then what about Forgotten Ancient?
Oh, that's one that moves them around, right? I like that.
Yeah, and then also it gets a 1/1 counter every time a player casts a spell. Wait, which thing did you say, Derek?
Actually no.
Incubation Druid.
It's a Kodama, the new Kodama, the 3-drop.
How much is he though?
It's like $7-8.
I think it might be too much.
If we could find someone to trade for it,
maybe. Hold on. Let's do a thing. Let's put that in the maybe board for right now, just so that we can see the actual price as we're making it. We're at $17 right now, so let's just get. Okay. The Kodama's a little much. Gyre Sage is good, and then we probably want Evolution Sage too. Gyre Sage. Evolution Sage.
Hardened Scales is only like $2.
Yeah, because it just got reprinted. So we can definitely play that. Evolution Sage, Hardening Scales. We'll go back to the more expensive cards after we look at what we have. And we'll go super cheap on the Loyal Guardian. At the beginning of combat in your turn, if you control your commander, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Seems busted. Loyal Guardian. Okay. I usually, don't. Okay, so champion.
What?
Cathars. See, Cathars, we might have to. Cathars and Felidar Retreat. Oh, Felidar Retreat we can fit. It's showing it's only $1.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. That's busted. Okay, Evolutionary Sage. What is. We got that.
Mana Gorger Hydra. That's what I like.
Herd Baloth. The one that when it gets a counter, you make a 4/4.
That works.
That's another thing that goes infinite with the Scurry or the Evolution Sage. What'd you say?
Our old favorite Mana Gorger Hydra. Player casts a spell, dump a counter on it.
Seems good. Good at this level. What about the Outlast one that gives them first strike?
Okay, I like that.
Inoc Bonkin. Oh, Enduring Scale Lord. Whenever one or more 1/1 counters are put on another creature you control, you may put 1/1 counter on Enduring Scale Lord. What do you think about that?
I like that because it's flying, it's big.
Yeah. Knight of Autumn is budget?
Yeah, because it's not in standard anymore.
But it's also still a good card. It's played in like Blink decks and stuff.
But it was a real problem, I think, in like standard. It was like the go-to for a lot of things.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you. What is this? Lenore? At the beginning of a combat in your turn, put a 1/1 counter on up to one target creature. Then, if you control 3 different more creatures. Oh, we should play that. With different powers, you draw a card. That seems good.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, what about what's that that enchantment that was in standard? Fight rigging?
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it puts a counter on something. If it's big enough, you get to play what's underneath it for free.
Yeah. That seems like a fun card. What about Pride Malkin? It's another thing that gives all 1/1 counters trample. Then when it enters, it puts a 1/1 counter on target creature you control.
Okay, I kind of like those.
Okay, Pride Malkin.
Sylvan Library.
Yeah, Yeah, you're a funny guy. We're probably we'll get the draw creatures after. No Ballista. Oh, here's one. It's a 4-drop, mindless automaton, enters the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it. Discard a card, put a 1/1 counter on mindless automaton. Remove 2 1/1 counters from it, draw a card. That seems
That's kind of cool.
Really good.
Especially if you have a way that like we have increased counters, that could actually go like pretty positive.
Yeah. What is this? Swarm Shambler enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it. Whenever a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it becomes the target of a spell or ability, create a 1/1 green insect, and then you can put a 1/1 on something. Ogre Jelly enters the battlefield with X 1/1 counters on it. When Ogre Jelly dies, if it had 2 or more 1/1 counters on it, create a token that's a copy of it at the beginning of the next end step. Then the token. I mean, no, Avengers overpriced. What is this?
Well,
Arcus Acolyte. Each other creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has Outlast. Put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Outlast only is a sorcery. That seems good, right?
Yeah, just
all of them can outlast. Arcus Acolyte,
which is pretty. It could be pretty good with like depending if it's just like what we have.
Here, look.
Yeah. No, I just read it. I see it right here.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
What is this? Elite Scale Guard. Enters the battlefield, bolster 2. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. What do you think about that? Oh, Vigor's the wet dream. Vigor's going in the maybe board.
So yeah, that might be something that we get. So we'll put like the expensive
Vigor,
cards in the
yeah,
maybe board.
yeah.
Like
Vigor.
another card that should go in the
Oh, Defiler, Vigor. Oh, sorry, hold on. No.
that also would be good for this list too because it does put +1 counters in
Well,
it.
yeah, it's the price. So it's going
But
in the.
the Ozlith, that's
Where did-
something that he should definitely look into getting. It's expensive. It's probably would put the deck way over budget because it's like 20 something bucks on
Where
its
did the
own.
Defiler go?
And the maybe board.
Oh yeah, the Ozolith, yeah. And then also Cathar's Crusade needs to go in the maybe board. Cathar's Crusade. For now.
Primordial Sage.
Oh
is
wait,
the
what was
budget.
that? Kodama? It was Kodama of what? Kodama.
Of the East Tree, West Tree, I forget.
No,
It's
I
the
think
new
it's
one.
I think it's the West one. Is the new one. Yeah. Okay, so that goes in the maybe board.
So Juniper or Order Ranger. Did we get him in there? He's another creature enters with a +1 counter, but he also gets a counter too. Juniper Order Ranger.
This thing?
Yeah, so it's basically another ETB. They get a counter, but he also gets the counter too.
Dude, we're only at $28. So we're gonna get. We'll worry about the stuff like that. We're gonna play. Hangerback Walker. Genesis Hydra. No. Quarian Beastcaller. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on Beastcaller. When Beastcaller dies, distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control, where X is the number of 1/1 counters on the Beastcaller.
It's all right.
Oh, I forgot the top part. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on it.
Oh, so it can get pretty big.
What do you think?
Man, Colonia Hydra is another amazing
Wait, what is
card.
this? The Genestealer? When Genestealer attacks. Oh, I was gonna look at the fucking deck. Right. Bio Titan. As additional cost to cast this spell, you may remove any number of 1/1 counters from among them. Make this cost 2 less. Can't be blocked by creatures 2 or less. So it's just a big boy. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 3 if you do return this from the graveyard. Hormagot Horde? What do we think about this thing?
It's okay.
Remember, if you pay 5, you get to draw.
Yeah, but like, that's all right. I wish I want it to be impactful though when they come in too.
Wait.
That one's kind of cool. Broodlord.
Broodlord.
When enters the battlefield, distribute X +1 counter among any number of other target creatures you control, which does get increased by like additional counter stuff.
That seems good.
And he has Ravenous, so you do get the draw card. So it's Broodlord.
Broodlord. What's the price though? Let's find out. Oh, maybe board it is. Just for now. Like, that's not too bad. Like, we could fit some of these into the budget. We'll figure that out after. Create a number of 1/1 tier. No. That just makes 1/1s. Create that many 1/1 tier creatures. So whenever this deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 Tyranids.
We read that one, yeah. Yeah, a lot of these are multicolored though. So I think we got those ones, yeah.
What was the... I saw one over here. Hold on. Oh, did we get that one? Pure Strain?
I don't think so.
Looks for lands. Let's look. So this one enters the battlefield with 2. Oh, no. That's not as good. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me read it. Whenever it attacks, you may remove a 1/1 counter from it. If you do, search your library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. What do you think?
I mean, it's probably really easy to enter with like 6 or 7 counters or get him big.
Okay, we could try it.
Another card that I definitely wanted to put in the maybe board is Colonia Hydra. That's the thing that doubles the counters on attack. It's like $20, but like maybe that's gonna be something he'd pick up or maybe look to trade for. Because that card is busted. Vorinclex would be another one that like
Enters
it's
the battlefield with
expensive.
5 1/1 counters on it. Whenever another creature you control dies, if it had a 1/1 counter on it, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control that has a 1/1 counter on it.
That's actually kind of cool.
So yeah, what do you think about this thing?
So it's like,
It enters with 5 counters, and then whenever another creature you control dies, if it had a 1/1 counter on it, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control that has a 1/1 counter on it. What do you think of that?
I'm pretty sure that could go infinite with a sack outlet. If you have any of those things that like when a counter is placed on them, make a token, and then you sack the token that comes out. Because it enters with a counter and it had a counter on it, it dumps a counter on everything. There's probably some weird shenanigans with that if with a sack outlet. I mean, we don't have to go down that route, but
No.
um,
Uh, isn't there like an instant?
Pledge of Unity. Put a +1 counter on each creature you control. You gain 1 life for each creature you control. Interesting.
Do you think that's good
So
enough?
that, nah, it's just reading. It's just like it's all right. I'm just looking through like cheap cards. It's 25 cents.
Oh yeah, I'll put the Great Hinge in it. The Great Hinge in also.
We have the Ozolith in there too.
Yeah, and the maybe board. Yeah. We'll put Doubling Season back in after, but we want to be able to see.
Oh, I forgot. Did we get Primordial Sage?
I think animation module is good, right? Whenever one or more 1/1 counters is placed on a permanent you control, you may pay 1 if you do create a colorless servo. Choose a counter on target permanent or player. Give that permanent or player another counter of that kind.
So it's kind of like proliferate.
Put a 1/1 counter on target creature or bow. What do you? Maybe bow?
Uh,
Chance. Creatures you control with 1/1 counters on them have base power and toughness 4/4, have flying and are angels and additional to their other types.
that's not bad. A lot of our creatures are start off kind of small. There are some that are a bit bigger. Like I think our commander off the bat and technically makes him 1 smaller. But
No,
everything else I think we've been playing is technically smaller than that.
so you want to? Do you think that's worth it? Commander creatures you own have this creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it, and other creatures you control enter the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it.
Oh yeah, that's the one I forgot. That's the other thing I was looking for. That pairs with the that one. That's the background for the one other commander that we were. So I was talking to him, and that was like whatever her name was, the Lazelle, whatever.
Mhm,
That's the background that you pick with her for the build.
mhm.
But I liked him a little bit better because it makes the cost reduction like really nice.
Uh, we could throw Guardian Project in the maybe board.
Meteor Golem we could play. He's pretty budget.
Well, we're green and white.
But he could also cost 0 mana.
No, I'm just. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yo, do we run some budget Eldrazi?
I was just thinking of Artisan. What about
Or
Artisan?
a creature based deck could bring it back.
And then it could almost be free sometimes. Is there any Eldrazi's that play with +1 counters?
The endless one, I think it is. He's the X one.
But do we think that's worth it?
It's just a big beater, and that's about it. I mean, it is counter based, and you can't just get huge.
Mirari's Wake goes in the maybe board, and so does Zendikar Sergeant.
I forgot. Did we get a Primordial Sage?
Yes.
Okay. Ulamog's Crusher is the Annihilator 2 Eldrazi that has to attack each combat if able, but still.
I don't think we need to go too crazy on them.
Did we get Incubation Druid?
I think I put that in a while ago.
Oh yeah, I see it. There it is. And we got Gyre, Sage, and Incubation. Okay. You want to start doing some ramp stuff?
I'm looking at the enchantments. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield and you control with a 1/1 counter on it. Oh no. You may pay 1 if you do put a 1/1 counter on that creature. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control, then you could sack it. What do you think about that? Paying 1 to put a counter on something? And then you could sack it to put a 1/1 counter on each creature?
It,
It's called Durable Handicraft.
um, it's not bad.
Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on target creature or vehicle you control. Then it has channel X. Discard it, put a 1/1 counter on target land you control. It becomes a 0/0 green spirit creature token. It's still a land. What do you think about that? Land entering? That doesn't seem that amazing. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control or gain 1 life. Whenever a creature you control attacks, put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature. Wait, what's that werewolf that like flips and gives everything hexproof?
Oh, that might be worth a little bit of money.
What is it
I
called
know
though?
what you're talking about. I forget. I know. Let me find it real quick.
Oh, should we play Zhang Yang, the thing that makes all the creatures with 1/1 counters on them add any mana?
I
It's
kind
a
of like that.
planeswalker, Zhang Yu.
It's Avabrook Caretaker. Oh, it does. That is the thing that puts counters on stuff too.
How do you?
There
This
it
thing?
is. Yeah,
Oh, it's $7. That goes to the maybe board. It's
but that
very
might be worth. That might
yeah.
be worth a tradable. That's a really good
Okay,
card. And I would.
so creature you control at vigilance -2. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control and a loyalty counter on each planeswalker. What do you think about that? A Johnny, the 4-mana one.
And I also like it gives them vigilance is nice too.
Well, hold on. I was thinking of Johnny. So there's wait. Put a 1/1 counter. So it's this one. Doesn't this do that too? Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control.
No, no. Is that one? I
Well,
know he
no,
says he
no.
has.
There's also this one, and then they all just get vigilance.
I know he says he has an Ajani. I don't know which one he has.
He probably is an older one. Okay.
Which Ajani do you have? Oh, he's in chat right now. That's All Might 521. What's the which Ajani? Because there's multiple Ajanis. We're also putting a bunch of like the more expensive cards in the maybe list that maybe we could trade for, and we could like swap out like a more budget card for.
What does this one do? Distribute 3 1/1 counters among up to 3 targets.
The green white one you were just by, but there's multiples of those. That doesn't help us. Is it the Great Hearted, the one that gives all creatures vigilance and you gain 3 life? Because then there's the Sleeper Agent, which is super new. I don't know if you'd have that one or not.
Okay, so Gavany Township.
Or we do land ramp, right? Because we have
Karn's Bastion.
the proliferate dude, right?
Yes, Karn's Bastion. Oh no, that's $4. Holy shit.
Oh, that's from because I think that was from the Commander deck. Try the original version of it. Because Commander deck lands can get really weird sometimes with pricing.
No.
Oh, it's just its price. I guess Planeswalker decks are really common. Or actually even just like counter related stuff in general.
All right, so let's play some ramp, which we're gonna do like rampant growth. Sakura Tribe Elder. Oh,
Cultivate.
let's play the budget like draw stuff. So like Soul Harvest, and then the Primordial Sage.
Oh, do we get Primordial?
No.
We have Beast Whisper in this maybe board. I think that's a card that like it's worth running.
Well, yeah, we'll let's finish the full thing first, and then we'll pick and put things in as we think, because we have 45. We're gonna have to cut down a lot.
Yeah.
So we got Steve. I got Rampant Growth.
Cultivate.
We need Cultivate and Kodamas. Harrow, Cultivate. Kodama. Harrow.
I love that dollar common card.
What about 3 visits? Because it just got reprinted again. Nope.
Nope.
Wait, let me. Nope.
Nope.
All right, so then we need to do Farce. No.
Well, it did also get reprinted in the Commander deck.
No,
so
not saying that we can't do Farseek, but this is not a good deck for Farseek because it's mainly green.
Oh, true.
We could just play like.
We could also play what's the suspend one?
Oh yeah, Search for
Tomorrow. We also have a few creatures that also tutor lands for us too.
Yeah, we could do Solemn. He's budget, right?
Yo, he might honestly be hard to kill in this deck because he might just get dummy thick out of nowhere.
Yes, Solemn. And what else? Finhorn. No, it's not Finhorn. I always fuck this one up. It's
Oh, the I just saw it too. Farhaven Elf. It's like that and Wood Elves.
Soul Ring. We could do.
I think can we fit a Thought Vessel? Is it cheap enough?
Maybe Decanter, just because it's cheaper. Well, we'll see. We'll see how cheap it is.
Thought Vessel's got a lot of reprintings.
No, it's still like.
Check because it's that version.
Oh my god! Already. Here.
I think it's because everybody picks those cards up.
Nope.
Man, can we just get that printed in like a standard set, please, where there's like a bazillion copies and not from a Commander deck?
What? Why is that version 35 cents?
Because nobody liked the foils from that set.
Okay, well that's going in.
There you go. We get the foil Decanter, Endless Water.
Not that we're gonna draw a billion cards, but it's just a budget. Do we want to run like
No, I think we will.
Signet?
We can. I guess we could.
It's what? It's $1. Okay. So we got all that. Now we need interaction. Is generous gift should be good, right? Yeah. Beast Within.
What's Beast Within? Beast Within's around the same.
We could do
What if we ran? There's a one cool removal spell. Return to Nature. I like. It's just one of those. It's a fight spell that also proliferates.
Isn't there an indestructible one that proliferates?
Maybe.
Is it? I used to play it in.
It's Smell Fear. Proliferate target creature fights up another target creature you don't control.
No, I think I'm thinking of the one that I'm thinking of the one that gives indestructible and makes a token.
Oh, yeah,
We don't.
because
We don't know.
it's
Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that.
populate.
Yeah. What other?
How much is swords?
That should be fine.
Swords has bazillion printings. Okay, he says he has a Johnny the Great Hearted.
How much is this? Too much. All right. Okay, so
Do you want like more like
maybe
removal-y type
yeah,
stuff?
a little bit more.
We also have the Mr. Oh, what if we run a steel hellkite?
What about acidic slime?
Oh,
That
I
could get
six times pretty good,
that
yeah.
could get annoying. We could put death like with death touch and
And a lot of counters on them.
yeah, and then maybe like we should play like one thing that gives our creatures indestructible. It can't be heroic. I'll put heroic and Teferis in the.
Unbreakable formation. So creatures you control gain indestructible at the end of the turn. If you cast a spell during your main phase, put a +1 counter on each of those, and they gain vigilance to the end of the turn.
Say that again.
So it's unbreakable formation. It gives creatures indestructible. But if you cast it during your main phase, you put a +1 counter on each of those creatures, and they gain vigilance until the end of the turn.
Any other indestructible things you want to play?
Isn't that like Tamio's safekeeping? Because it also puts it. Doesn't that put a +1 counter on something?
No, but that's only one creature, right?
Yeah.
I was talking about like saving everything.
Oh, Chroma's will.
Can't fit it really. I don't think we're gonna be able to fit it after the lands. That's also going to maybe board. Because we're at 45, but then again, we are gonna cut a lot of cards. So
Yeah. Well, let's look at lands real quick because.
All right. So Temple.
Canopy Vista.
Which temple is it?
Enlightenment, I believe.
Nope.
Nope. Temple of. Oh, it's Temple of Plenty.
Yep.
There it is. Command Tower. We get to run that bad boy. Canopy Vista is like a really cheap tutorable dual land, but also can just enter on tap maybe.
Which card?
It's Canopy Vista. Ooh. Lands kind of suck here, huh?
Yes.
Utility lands. I was thinking of Oran Reef, the Vastwood. It taps, put a +1 counter each green creature that entered the battlefield this turn. It does enter tap though, but
It's fine.
you know, man, even Castle Garenbrig is up to like $6.
I guess Myriad Landscape's fine in 2-color. So we're gonna have forest and plains. Ooh.
Man, I don't want a lot of things that. So many things enter tapped that are for 2 colors. Sungrass Prairie is the filter land. That's it. But it's like it's the Signet land. It does enter untapped.
I'm not a fan of those.
I know, neither am I.
I'm really not a fan of them.
Do we trust that we have enough fetching to just run basics?
Probably.
Also, I think we could run like a Blighted Woodland. Oh, Fortified Village. That's the other thing we could run. That's the reveal from your hand. And if we're running mostly basics, it's not like it's going to be hard to do.
We can do like I guess Tangled Florahedron. Should we fit Balagad?
Yeah, that card's cracked.
And then Shajiri. Okay. So that's yeah, all the other lands are so expensive.
Yeah, this is like the worst color for like dual lands, I think, or it's up there at least. I mean, we could run the bounce land. I know it's not my favorite unless you could really cap. Well,
I think with the ramp, like the kind of ramp that we play, I think we'll be fine.
So do I. So maybe just run the rest basics. Let's go.
Yeah. So it's looking like a majority green, but we can just scroll down. Yeah.
Not by too much though.
21. Is that showing 21 total?
That's 21 pips. There's 13 white cards with 21 pips.
And then there's
and 18 green, but 68 green pips.
Yeah,
But
so
it's probably had a lot more double green, and then a lot of things are single white.
oh, what's that? Ramper, the Crozen Verge, is it? And I guess we can play Blighted Woodland.
Because Crow's Verge is not a ramper; it's just a fetch land that enters tapped.
No, it gets two.
So a forest card and a plains card put. Oh, I guess it does.
Yeah. Okay.
Even
is there
Reliquary
any other
Tower,
utility lands we want to play? Like, is there any weird like man lands or
we could run a Mosswort Bridge. Our creatures are gonna get pretty big, so I feel like that's easy enough.
How much is Lair of the Hydra? We could play that, right?
Yeah.
Just for the fuck of it. Also, what's the
wait, Tom,
what's the colorless
Mosswort Bridge. Our creatures are going to definitely get big enough. That's going to be a really easy thing to hit.
So, what's the colorless thing that you pay for to put a 1/1 counter on the land that they played in standard?
Oh, not Faithless Haven. Crawling Barrens.
Okay, that seems good. So we have 3 MDFCs, right? 1 creature, and an instant, and a sorcery. Yeah, so we're at 36 lands. We're gonna have to cut a fuck ton of cards. Yeah, 11.
So definitely the creatures. Yeah, with 50 creatures, they're definitely going to cut a lot of those back.
Okay, so let's just start going through everything and see what it's worth. All right, so this thing, when it deals combat damage to a player, destroy target artifact or enchantment that player controls. But it's also a 2-drop with Ravenous. So it enters with that many counters, and if it's 5 or greater, it draws a card.
And remember how our commander works with X spells costs less with him. So there's potentially that we could put like 10 counters on him.
The flying seems good.
Yeah.
This seems good. This is removal, which we're probably not going to cut because we're already really low. What about the first strike?
First strike could be okay.
It also can put a counter on this creature only.
But I think it's more so because it's like a lord for +1 counters. I kind of like first strike. People underestimate how
Yeah.
its potential.
So this is the everything gets outlast.
I kind of don't care about that as much because you have to tap it to creatures to outlast them, and it only works on your turn. So you
Okay.
can't like instant speed do it. So I'm just like, eh.
This seems really good.
That's amazing. That's a super draw. That's an
Artisan?
amazing card. No, Arson I think is just too good. He's huge.
Oh, we should put. I hate to do this, but the Green Warden. The budget.
Don't you mean seasons past?
Well, we can fit them both. Let's see. Yeah, and it's only.
I can't believe that people still like it's only a mythic from that set.
Okay.
That's like.
So these seem too good, right? For each creature, this doubles the number of counters. This is one of the things that makes everything enter with an extra counter, right?
Yeah, so that stays definitely.
Those have to stay. So this is a mediocre one that gives him trample because it's only a 0/3 and it puts 1 counter on itself. And we have the Pride Malkin that also gives him trample. Do we want to play 2 of these or?
I guess we could dump that one.
Yeah, it's pretty mediocre. Is this just a big
We
beater?
could we could cut that. We have other ways to make big beaters.
Scale Lord.
No, I think that's good. That's like that's at least has evasion because it's flying. That's amazing.
This is busted.
That's ramp.
Wait, how much is Fable Passage? Oh, we should play Evolving Wilds. We 100% want to play Evolving and
right.
Terramorphing.
Yeah, true. There's the bottom. Oh, I had saw it.
Okay, so we'll cut a forest and another forest? No, a plains. Go to 7. Okay. So, all right. This looks really good. Makes 4 forests.
Yeah, Gyre
This is
Stage is a
ramp.
mana ramp. I love it. Love
This
all
is
the. I love.
yeah. This whole row
love
looks really good.
Yeah.
This looks good. Combo, another 1/1 removal. What does this do again?
That's a hardened scales.
Okay. This draws.
And puts
this
counters on.
This puts counters on everything. Is one creature? Is this a little weak?
We get rid of that. Don't like.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even put a maybe board. I would just get rid of it so it's not cluttering up the maybe board because we want to like keep the maybe board as like stuff to get. So like yeah, the endless one.
Okay. That's all. Still good stuff.
All right.
Wait, did we get Beast Whisperer down there? Do we want to fit Beast Whisperer in this? I think we can fit it.
Yeah.
We'll just fit it. Oh, and we got to put doubling season back in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me move that back up because you said.
Well, let's do that after we finish cutting. We'll cut the deck.
I'm just worried. I'm just worried I'm gonna forget. So we'll cut it down to.
I'll remember. We'll cut to 99. So we have to cut 11 cards.
So this thing draws, which I think is actually pretty good. Getting an extra draw each turn. Maybe the Mana Gorger goes.
I guess. It's
mean, it doesn't seem bad. It
gets so big really quickly.
I know, but it's like it kind of does it itself, as we're like everything is kind of adding to each. I don't know.
What it does is like we just like things that could put counters on themselves repeatedly with our commander, but like it's not amazing. But so like I think some of the other stuff is probably arguably better. So that could be a cut.
Okay.
I like Mikaeus. Mikaeus is a little silly.
Well, yeah, Mikaeus is everything. So this is another 1/1 counter or
another land
Sage. This is the one that gives trample and it enters, and you can put a 1/1 counter on target creature. This gives everything 1/1 counters on a trample. So I think that stays. This gives everything counters. This draws. That gives everything counters. I mean, exiling things in grave is pretty good.
Yeah, and counter because a deck with the counters matters. That seems really good.
I think honestly we just cut Signet because I'm realizing we have a lot of ramp. Right?
Yeah.
We just cut Signet, maybe even Decanter. because we're playing like a lot of creature ramp. But I mean,
We
maybe for the no maximum hand size. But I honestly, I mean, we
well,
do
we do
have
have those.
return.
We do have a lot of ways to draw big amounts of
Oh,
cards all at once.
do we want to push Reliquary Tower in, or
You want to find like you know what? It has no price. We'll go with that. $0.
just cut another forest? All right, so yeah, we'll just let him look at that, and we'll keep it at the 0 because it doesn't deserve to be the price it is. Okay, so we were around here. So this thing is the when it attacks, you may remove a 1/1 counter. Do you think that's annoying because it has to attack? That's just not good
Yeah.
enough. Yeah,
Mhm.
but then hold on. But then it puts counters on itself. Is it better than playing something like Wood Elves because it's more
No, because
related?
because it enters with 3 and it has to attack. Wood Elves gets it right away. I
Okay,
think it's repeatable land ramp, but then you have to remove counters from it, so it gets smaller.
this seems
The
good.
first time it's blocked, it doesn't do anything. Rishkar is amazing. It makes
Yeah,
everything mana dork basically.
yeah. This is the enters with X counters whenever
It
one.
just says another gets big creature, but maybe we don't care as much about that.
All right. So what are we at? We cut 6 cards. Okay, we got through that pretty quick. There's still
We have to cut
45 creatures.
we still think we have to cut 7 because we need one for
Oh, right,
doubling
right.
season.
Doubling season, right.
Okay.
Okay, let's fight rigging. No, I think everything else here we're not
Yeah, I
even
think we
gonna
just
look
might
at.
have to suck it up and cut from creatures because we have
Yeah.
like a low amount of everything else.
So
Maybe the all
let's let's
imposing.
let's let's count our ramp first. So one,
Okay,
two, uh
so Dire Sage
2,
2. Sorry,
3,
3,
4,
5,
yep,
6,
7,
7, 8 with Rishkar,
9,
9,
10,
10, 11,
11. Okay, yeah, we gotta cut down on ramp.
11.
Cut the
Yeah,
search.
12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, it's 15 sources.
Did I get Harrow in? Oh, and Harrow.
I think we could. I like keeping creatures high in this list,
So
but
yeah, it's probably better than playing like Harrow or like.
yeah, because we don't really do too much with spell wise. Like even if our creatures like die, at least like we get draw triggers from creatures. We have counter manipulation with creatures. Like this is like a heavy wants to be a lot of creature deck, and a lot of our like abilities too, like that do some of the same stuff. Like we have ramp, we have removal, we have artifact enchantment removal like in our creature base.
But then again, Hero, Harrow's good for like those land triggers.
Yeah, true.
Is there any of these that we wanna? Maybe we cut this as a sorcery, or I mean,
Yeah,
it proliferates though. I mean, it's not bad. We can keep that.
yeah.
Rampant growth. No, I think we keep all these in the Harrow.
I
Uh,
like and I like the. Oh, also, I forgot we have another source of ramp is the other planeswalker. It's like 16
all right.
sources of ramp. So
Yeah,
maybe we could look at like creature ramp, or maybe no. I like creature ramp though.
yeah. I think it's a little better, even though you have to spend a little bit more. Uh,
You know, is it? I'm about to say, is it like a is rampant growth like the cut only gets one land? Like at least the other things are creatures, or they or Kadamas and Farsi get 2 lands. I mean, I cultivate in
are we
Kadamas at
are
least.
we really gonna cut rampant growth?
I think we are. Our curve also isn't super high. If you look at our list, like it's not. It doesn't need a lot of mana to do what it wants to do anyway. Maybe we could also cut a solemn. Is like that what we wanted to be doing for turn 4? But he could cost 0 mana though.
Yeah, he can also. Yeah, he can be free.
So the thing next to it, the slime that's next to it, on the left side of him, I'm not. I think that's just okay because it has to die to get its effect to be any good. And other than that, it's just like a 5/5 for 5. It doesn't really impact too hard, except make things cost 5 less, I guess.
Oh, this is another tutor too.
Oh yeah, that's another land ramp thing. That thing's actually kind of silly for land ramp because if you like for every 2 mana you get a land, so you put 4 into it, you get 2. You put 6 into it, you get 3. How many lands do we have in total?
36.
You want to go down one land? That much ramp, a decently low curve. I mean, we still need enough lands just to play
Yeah,
the
we can
game,
cut
but
it. We
like,
can cut a forest. Is fight rigging just cute? One counter.
yeah, I guess, and like, I guess the underneath part is kind of cool, getting to play a card for free, but whatever. I think we have enough draw that we don't need to try and sneak. Like our commander kind of cheats us things into play.
Oh my God, we're gonna play 40-something creatures. We need to cut 2 more.
Maybe Scale Lord then, because he doesn't put counters on things on his own, I guess. But like he gets so big in the air. He get no, maybe we keep him. It's just that's so big. He dummy thick. Do we care? Maybe we don't care about first strike.
I don't know. First
I
strike.
don't know. First strike seems real good though. Eh. Why is there so many good green cards?
Right. Artisan, maybe?
I guess like that seemed like the worst card,
But,
kind of.
I mean, like, it's just not in the counter theme. It's just good with Hamza. And we did
Yeah,
fit in the seasons past, and
true. And I guess
now we
if
got a
like
Balaget and a Green Warden, so
I guess if like we don't have our commander in play, he gets really hard to play, and I don't want to spend my whole turn playing it without my
yeah.
commander in play.
Yeah, and we have no mana doublers right now, so. Oh, I'm gonna throw Nyx Plumation in the maybe board too.
Just that good green card stuff.
Also, probably definitely a Nyx Lotus because it's like a large majority green.
Don't you mean Nixos?
No, Nyx, both of them.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're at 58. So we're already at the. So we just need to cut one more card and get the here. So we'll put the doubling season in. And all right, now we need to cut one card. Which this with the doubling season makes it 148. But otherwise, it was $58 before we cut a card. So we were like right on the money. This card's dumb.
Yeah, especially like we actually have a decent amount of like we actually have a lot of ways to tutor lands to get landfall triggers.
Yeah, which is
That
why
can
I
get
want to
kind of
keep the
silly.
Hera. I think we're cutting one more source of ramp, but what is it?
Yeah, maybe it's the cultivate or the
Really?
Kodamas. Yeah, because at least the other ones put two lands in the play or creature based. Like I'd rather it be creatures or like
No,
the land.
I actually agree with you. Or is it this? No, that proliferate. Is there no other? Isn't there like an enchantment that proliferates every upkeep, or am I thinking of the one that makes a token?
Your thing what makes a token. It's beginning of your upkeep populate. The one that puts a counter on your upkeep is the three drop
Wait, what's
percentage
that?
thing.
What was that new guy that makes tokens? Doesn't he put counters on things too? The new like king that we just got that like pays 6 and
Oh, I actually just it made me think of something else.
so we're cutting. I could cut cultivate. That makes
Okay.
sense to me. Because we're still rocking 1, 2, well, kind of like a half because it has to be 1 counter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, that's the one that gets lands. So hold on, it's 1 and 2, 3, So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 15.
So another card I was thinking of for like another way, it's only like $2 is Sanctuary Warden. It enters. That's the angel that enters with 2 shield counters on it, and then whenever it enters or attacks, you can remove a +1 counter from a creature. You move a counter from a creature or planeswalker you control, and if you do, you draw a card and make a 1/1 green citizen token. It's not bad. It's another way to draw a card, and you can remove a counter from anything, and it
Seems good.
makes a creature that also half the time is probably going to enter with 3 counters, and it has 2 shield counters on it, so it has to
What is
be
it
like
called again? Sanctuary.
Sanctuary
Oh, it's only
Warden.
$1. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. All right, so we got to cut one more card. It's probably another ramp spell. But which one are we cutting this time?
Mm. Maybe we don't need Steve.
No, Steve is one of the better ones, right?
Yeah, no, he is. I don't know. I don't know, man. Cultivate.
Are we really going to cut Cultivate?
I don't know, man. The thing is, like, I like those cards because I like having the extra land in my hand. But that he's also a a ramp source too. If you think about it.
Is this really getting cut?
Um,
I guess so. I mean, we still have like stuff that gives landfall, and I think Harrow's better to keep in.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. Let's see this bad boy in action.
Wait, how many creatures? 44.
44. Let's